Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dede, and this is a live show on Ustream with live chat. Lots of people. I'm talking to people. Yes, yes, I am. Not just talking to myself. So, anyway, we kind of discussed in between the book show and this show about what to do, and it's kind of narrowed it down to art cards because I need art cards to send out. If you're here in the live show, and I wish I could do it for every subby on YouTube, but obviously I can't do that. But if you're here in the live show, and I do give some out on YouTube. I gotta say, I do. If you message me, you follow me, and you've talked to me and been around for a while, and you message me your address, I'll put you on the list, but I can't promise you when you'd ever get one because the only time I have time to make these now is here. So I try to make, 12 or so at a time, 8, 10, 12. Okay, Mel, do that. Oh, good, Elk Lady. Yeah, Elk Lady said she received the one that she got to watch being made. So, yeah. So I will show you some of the ones that I have. I do keep a few on hand because for samples to show you where we're headed. But these are they're not ATC size. They're 3x4 art cards. So they're a little bigger than ATCs. And again, we'll probably flash out for a while because we're going to go with some white cards, right? Oh, do need some wax paper. So we'll put down some wax paper just to keep me from gluing myself to the desk. Let me show you. Grab some here. So I have a few in different sizes, and I'll show you a few of the sizes that I make. And some of these are the older ones that I keep on hand to show you sizes. So I make some that are 4x6. These right here are 3x4. But I'll do some that are 4x6, and it's all the same process. This is also the same. Yes, of course, LBO, little book owl. If you and I show anytime y'all send me cards, I show them off here. So if you want to send, show your work off, send it here. I'll be glad to show it. And if you make multiples, we hand them at. We do drawings, and I send out happy mail. So sure. Okay, so again, guys, I have a bit of a sore throat, so I have to remember to keep sipping some coffee here. The process that I do is all the same for all these art cards and my mixed media collage art journal in the Dilution book. It's pretty much all the same that you're going to see me do here. Also, if you watch me do these shows regularly, whether it's an art card or in an art journal, you're going to hear me repeat the process that I always use. And I do that because I'm talking out what I'm doing. It's not that I think you don't remember, you don't know how to glue, you don't know how to cut paper. It's none of that. It's just I'm talking out what I'm doing. And also, if people ask me questions here, like what glue are you using? I'll repeat it, even though I've said it 100 times. If a new person is here asking me what glue I use, I'm going to say it again. So if you hear me repeat things a lot, it's because I'm being asked questions live that I'm not going to ignore. Know what I mean, Vern? Okay, so this is like the 4x6 size. This is the the size we're going to make today, the 3x4. Okay. And let's see here, got another one like that. Got a couple that size just to show you. Okay, we made these. I think last time this. So I keep a couple for samples, but they almost all go out. The other size that I make, and I haven't done these in a long time because they're hard to show on camera. But these are some older ones that I have. These are from, I think, probably 2012. These aren't even signed. I just kept these. They're not quite, I think they're 2 inches inch and a half. Let's see. 2 inches. Yeah. So they're not inchies, they're twinchies. I don't know. Anyway. So they're just some small ones. Let me just pick a few of my favorite ones out. So again, I don't make these very often just because not only are they hard to see on camera. Okay, thanks, Mel. Not only are they hard to see on camera when I'm making them, but you know, look how little they are. They're just kind of hard to. So I don't make these on camera. Anyway, so just to show you some of the sizes of the cards. All right, let me put this one back here. And we'll get crack-a-lacking. Making some. All right. All right, so it's the same process that I do in my art journal. And like I said, I've been doing in my big Dilutions journal. I did start some other pages in here off camera just so that I have some ready to go, because the process now it does take quite some time on a art card too, but by the time you see me pick the collage elements, glue them down and all that, you know, half the show's over. So you don't get to see the painting detail process as much. So what I did start doing is, now here's one that's done. These are I'm going to do the exact same process on the cards that I do here. This is just a bigger scale, right? So like, you know, you can see the scale, right? And so what I started doing is taking some time off camera, and I don't want to yell at you. Let me get taking some time off camera to do some gluing so that these are ready for me to start painting, so that you can see more of a process like this one that's fit more of the finished details, right? Because by the time I do all this part, you know, this takes a while, right? So I have some here ready in my Dilutions, ready to go when we want to do a larger page. But I'm showing this to say that the process that I'm getting ready to do here is exactly the same as this, just smaller, so I can send them out. Hey, Sarah. I have to go watch your recording, Sarah, from yesterday. I didn't make it. It's hard for me to make anything. Ask Jean. At 5 o'clock, I'm done. As far as, you know, that goes. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some cards. Let's do 8. That looks like it'll fit. And when we get down to the painting, I'll either zoom in or I'll hold the cards up. And it is going to flash out because of all the white. I try to keep something here to kind of keep the camera from flashing out. But it's, you know, it'll happen. Don't email. I just want to have a little bit, I just want a little bit of color in here to keep us from completely. All right, there we go. So we'll work on 8. So it's the same process. What I do is I'll lay out when I'm doing them myself, like without anybody here, which I don't really have much time to do that anymore with portrait commissions and other things. And I have a project. I want to do a drawing for my mom for Mother's Day. I hope she's not listening, because if I don't do it, now she's going to be expecting it. But I do have a project I want to do for my mom for Mother's Day, which is coming up, May? Well, I have a little bit of time. Anyway, so I don't have a lot of time to make these cards without being just here. So, hey, who did I miss? Lindsay. I say hi to Lindsay and Sarah. Okay. So I'm going to start with, and again, I usually don't put people in my cards that often, but it seems like I get people saying, oh, I love it when you have a person in there. So, you know, for me, I like to sometimes put bugs or butterflies or other things, but I do have people saying, oh, I like it when I get a card with a person in it. So I've been trying to put some people in it at your request. Right? At your request. So since I'm going to do that, I will pick out some people occasionally to put in the cart. So this is the part that takes, yeah, see, everybody wants to do people. Bugs are good too. But I don't usually put a lot of people in my art card or even my art journals. I have done a few because people asked me to. So I have been making an effort to put some people in, but like my big posters, hand draw all those. Any people or animals I put in my big giant fantasy posters, but those are an all day affair right there. All right. So I'm just kind of flipping through a couple of magazines here, seeing what I got. Okay, I do like this. So at this stage of the game, what I usually do is find elements that I like and just kind of lay them out on the card. Hey, Q-Bev. Thanks for being here. We're just going to do some art cards today because these are what I like to give away. Mix it up. People, bugs, and flowers, and lemurs. Yes. But it does take me a little longer to pick people because I'm picky about the people I put on them. It's got to have, like, the person I pick has got to kind of, I don't know, speak to me or something. I like her. Like her. And they have to also be small enough to fit on these cards, right? When I put them on large, on art journals, they can be a little bigger, fashion model-ish stuff. Okay, Sarah, send some art cards. I'll be glad to share them with everybody. So here's another kind of small image. They have to be small enough to fit on an art card, right? And again, I'm not committed to any of it. Things can change. Things can change as I Okay, let's see. This fashion magazine. Let's see if I can find a couple other girls. When it's my turn, I want a hippo. You want a hippo. I'm not sure what you meant, Sandy. I missed something on the hippo. Oh my goodness. When the chat rolls by, sometimes it's like, what? What? No. What are you talking about? A hippo? Oh my gosh. I don't know. You girls crack me up sometimes. Oh, I like this lamp. Okay, this is a chandelier thing, but this will make some good planets. I'm just kind of sort of fussy tearing. Look at that. Isn't that awesome right there? Some kind of a chandelier. And I always tell y'all that it's best if you can tear as much as you can, because if you tear your image rather than cut, that'll blend better with the paint. I like that right there. I mean, sometimes you have to fussy cut, when you want to add something, but I like to try my best to fussy tear. Would like an art. Sandy, Sandy, you can say you have not got an art card from me in 6 years. I cannot believe you've not got an art card from me, Sandy. Oh, here's some pretty butterflies. Okay, so in this case, where's my scissors? Let me cut this butterfly out. I do like this butterfly, and I think, though, I kind of want maybe some, just the, whoops, don't get away from me there. I think I just want these wings. And again, I'm not really one to put wings on the girls. Every now and then I do, but, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it just needs to be its own thing. You better get hippo. No. Yeah, that ain't happening, Sandy. I'm not going to go digging for a hippo. I'll tell you what, Sandy, you send me a tiny hippo. Send me a tiny hippo, Sandy, and I'll make you a card with it. How about that? Make you do some of the work. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then here's what I do like about fashion magazines. This is why I like fashion magazines. This kind of stuff. The the texture, the fabrics. Look, this is the kind of stuff I like to put in my art cards, right? Not so much the girl. And that's why I don't buy a lot of fashion magazines. I only buy, I don't need that many because there's so much like fabrics and stuff for backgrounds. I don't want too similar. A few drive away. I've sent you a few. I'll tell you what, Sandy, you send it to me and I'll make you a card, okay? All right, let's see. What else do I have here? And I love bits of architecture, just bits of, bits. Oh, she's quite pretty. If we got to pick a girl, let's put her in one. I like her because the butterfly wings match her. She only probably needs one wing. Does she need one this side or does she need one on this? I think she just needs one wing. You'll crack me up, I'll tell you. You do. You crack me up. All right, but look at the bottom of her dress. Look at that. Doesn't that look like water, waves, mountains? That's a lot of goodness right there. That's a lot of goodness right there. That's a waterfall. That's some mountains. See what I mean, Vern? And I'm not going to put it with her, though. I'll put it with something else. Yeah. Gotta look at those kind of things. A little bit of this door right here. There's some scuffed paint on a door. But look, it's also a cloud. It's also a cloud. And don't be afraid to turn things upside down. See, this is what I mean about it. See, this takes a while. Takes a while to select the collage elements. That's why I did some pre-collaging in the art journal so that we have a start. Oh my gosh, Eileen, you're digging out pictures for her. You are an enabler in more ways than one, Eileen. You are now enabling Sandy, the good girl. Hi, Mad Rat. Oh my goodness. Okay, I like this dress on this girl. I like the texture. I have no idea what we'll do. I mean, what it'll end up being, but I like it. So yeah, I'm going to try to find a person, which seems to take me even longer to find a person to put on a page, not just a adding other things. It's another girl. If you have any questions, put them in caps, please. Purdy, please. Oh, here's a whole page of girls. Let's see. Meh. 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 This is kind of cool. Find us a big bug. I don't think you're going to find that in Vogue. Let me find the faces first. There's Marilyn. We could probably use Marilyn. We could use half a Marilyn face. I don't want to use it because look how big it is. It takes up the whole face. Either that or she needs to go on a, this needs to go in an art journal because it's too big. So I think I'll set her aside to use in the art journal. See, I'm having to find small faces, right? That fit on the page. Oh, I like her because her hair's flying up. Okay, here's some good ones. Which one do I like here? I like this one. She's like maybe jumping up in the air and her hair's flying up. I like that. That's a good one. Oh, there she is again. Whoops, kind of tore a little bit. We'll go with that. Okay, one more. Oh, hello, it's a little old lady. And the less I talk, the better with my sore throat. Because I slept with the fan blowing in my face, which irritates the sinuses. Let's see, let's go with her. All right, I think I got enough girls. Do we have enough girls yet? See, these are kind of big. I have to squeeze them in there. I have to squeeze these girls. I think I'll fussy cut her around her just a little bit. It's a little harder to blend when you cut rather than tear, but I want her on top of this. That. Thanks, Terry. You like my Prince portrait? Thanks. Yeah, that was for my daughter, who, that was her favorite. Prince was her favorite when she was a teen. So I did that for her. I'm going to have it framed. Having it framed. All right, let's see. How many I got here? I just need one more face. I'm going to do faces on all these. Here we go. Here's one. I should be a little bit more particular on the faces, but I'm not. I'm just going for it. Let's see. I think I want her to. Because, we are limited in time here. All right, now I do need a few watch bits. All right. Checking chat, taking a sip of coffee. All right. Where's my watch? Let's pick a couple. This one. Yeah, here we go. Let me pick a couple watch parts. I have to get some small ones because these are small cards, right? So what have y'all been working on? Y'all see me working on all this. What have y'all been working on? Let's have some people say what they're working on. I'm going to turn that over and turn that this way. I like that. Hey, Vicky. Give me some feedback. Feedback on what y'all been working on. Mountain Dreamer, a Tim Holtz April tag and pocket letter. Dinner? Well, I don't mean like right this minute, Gina. Gina, sweet dinner. Vicky can actually, yeah, I've been watching you, Vicky. You've been actually working on something on your big journal, like isn't it the Shannon Green type journal? Is that what the one you're working on? Hey, Packer Die. Packer Die started on our next canvas for the 100-day project. Q Bev is working on a couple of art journal pages. Packer Die is also working on ATCs. Julie Topaz, a magazine journal, volume 2. And updating. Yeah, put your links to your blogs if you're working on blogs. Terry's working on Shannon Green's big collection journal too. Someone was working on the right side of the brain book. Elk Lady's a book of faces in her art journal. Dang, girls, you been busy. Postcards. Sandy's doing a postcard swap cards and cleaning her room. I know I got to get mine cleaning too. And Grammy's adding to her list of projects. Hey, nothing wrong with adding to your list. Janet's working on staying out of jail. Helen's on her next sketchbook. Sarah O is sewing up a new journal. Yes, Sarah O streamed last night. Color book pages. Nothing lazy about doing a color book page. Lindsay Whimsy is telepathically working with me. And little book owl is coloring. And what else? Gonna try to color. Oh, you had your surgery yesterday, Wee Hootie? Okay. Yes, Wee Hootie had her shoulder. I can't even say it. Shoulder surgery. Well, you don't worry about coloring, Wee Hootie. Lay back and just enjoy the chat. Yeah. Terry's moving, so she's packing. Mel, of course, broke her foot. I didn't see how, but yeah. You girls, stop breaking yourselves. Stop breaking yourselves. Oh my goodness. All right, let me pull a couple more watch parts here. You girls, I swear. And thanks everybody for keeping your injuries positive. I broke my fair share of toes, I'll tell you that. I remember when I broke, one time I broke, I broke my couple of toes actually. The first time I broke a toe, I accidentally kicked the laundry room door. I was going and carrying laundry, and the door was cracked open. And so I kicked the door and broke a toe. And I had never broke anything before, so I didn't know. You break a toe, don't you go to the emergency room? I don't now, but then I did. So I told Hubster, I think I broke my toe. He goes, oh, you didn't break your toe. I said, yeah, I think I broke my toe. He goes, well, all right, let's go get it x-rayed. So I went and got it x-rayed. And the doctor came out, yep, she broke her toe. Hubster went, you're kidding. He didn't believe it. You're kidding. And he goes, no, she broke her toe. You're kidding. Yeah, Sandy Jones says, we're too old to be stunt women, girls. Stop it. Good one, Sandy. I got to write that down that's got to go in the Wingnut book. That's got to go in the Wing book. Sandy. We are too old to be stunt women, girls. Stop it. That's going in the Wingnut book. Yeah. So anyway, and so I was in a 2-story house. So they gave me crutches, right? They give you crutches, and they don't do anything. They don't cast your toe. They don't put a cast on your toe. They wrap your toes all together, right? No, I mean I don't mean my toe was literally like hanging off the, it didn't require surgery or anything, right? wasn't hanging off my foot, but they wrap it up and they, tighten so that the bones grow back together and give you crutches. Well, you can't use crutches in the stairs. Oh, anyway. So yeah, like Sandy said, we're too old to be stunt women. Okay. All right. So let me get a couple watch parts or something here. There's some cool electronics. I love things like this. These make good nebula. They look good in a nebula. Backgrounds of nebulas. And go put that above her. We'll put that in there. I'm just taking my time. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm just taking my time? Let's put that up there. I want a little of that turquoise showing. I'm going to put turquoise around that. Okay, and I don't get too, you don't put too many elements in these cards. 'Cause Okay, Iffy, take care in that weather, girl. Oops. Come back here. Come back here. Let's see, do I want this behind her? I want some red behind her and then some down here, like that. So you only can fit so much on these little cards. Never broken a bone, Sarah? Good. But anyway, since Mel broke her foot, I was just commenting on Mel. Or as Sandy said, stop being a stunt woman, Mel. You like the faces? Me too, Vicky. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like I get a request. Everybody goes, put more faces on them. So I'm doing that for you guys. But I'm also adding my watches and clocks because I like the element of time. I like the element of time. I'm going to have to fussy cut her a little bit out too. Don't need silver on that. I don't think I got enough silver. I need some brass gold color. Here's some things with numbers. I like to put numbers on them occasionally. Here's some numbers. When you're ready, I'll have a pina colada. You like my tuck story yesterday? Wasn't that hilarious? Yeah, that was hilarious. At the time, and again, I don't get embarrassed easy, so I probably just laughed about it, but, it was like, kind of took me off guard, right? That was fun. I'm just going to cut around this girl just a little bit. Because I want this. So I want her to have kind of like a halo, like. Something like that. Whoops. Go stay in frame. Yep, so these will all end up getting sent out to some of y'all. I really like her hair, but I'm also liking I think she needs to go over here. Let's put it with this girl. All right. And I don't save this kind of stuff. Well, that's kind of cool, though. Because I don't save these little scraps, but I flip that over and went, oh, I like that one. Because I barely go through the bulk of stuff. All right, let's see. Let me look. This one needs, she's pretty good. She's going to need something here. Bye, Terry. Thanks for being here. Thanks, guys. Anytime any of y'all can be here for even a little bit. I'm recording. It's still going. All right. I think we'll stop with the watches. And I love my fractals. And I love little bits. Ooh, I like his face too. some cool like Nat Geo type things. But I got enough faces. Let me get away from the faces. Okay, I don't need these magazines anymore. Put those on the floor. Let's see what little bits. You know, I love my fractals. Love me some fractals. They're the harder than you think. I wish you lived in my craft room. Oh, Poppy, it does take some practice. I'm not going to say you can just whip these out, never having done them before in one sitting. And you have to also, guys, I think one of the things is you got to pick elements that speak to you. You know, like I like watches and waterfalls and stars and space and nebula and sci-fi looking kind of things. I like that. So I'm more apt to be into the card. If you're not into any of that and you like gardens or whatever, you got to pick things that speak to you or you're not going to enjoy the process. What types of magazines? Oh, every kind. I don't, the fashion magazines, I don't buy them very often because a fashion magazine will last me forever because I don't usually put faces on many of them. I have been, like I said earlier, I have been lately because people have been asking, I'll put some faces in it. They like the faces. But I like more of the background story that doesn't need a face in the cards. But I like any kind of magazine, you're going to have little bits of texture, architecture. I love calendars. For like art journal pages, they have bigger elements. You know, like here's a piece of a fish. Right, this is from a fish calendar. Now, obviously, it's way too big to put on these, but this is the kind of stuff I like in my art journal, right? Now, I've got some fractal bits, but I'm not using that color. So let me see what other fractal colors I have here. It just seems like now I'm going to go with more teals, browns, and reds today. That just happened to be what colors we picked, right? But all kinds of things. Look, this is some kind of landscape. So let me flip through. Oh, here's some teal fractals. We got some teal fractals. What is it? The exact? That's not the exact kind of thing I'm looking for. Blue. Here's some kind of bit of underwater something. Okay, I have no idea what this was, but look at that right there. Look at that. That is really awesome right there. That. See, now I don't know what it was. It was a piece of mechanical something like a camera. Now it's a mountain with the aurora borealis or something going on behind it, right? Oh, so I don't know. Maybe she's. Or maybe I don't like that girl. Don't need the girl in that one. See? So look at things. Don't just look at them like what they are. Look at them with your imagination. That's my SpongeBob imagination. I'm liking this more than that. And see, look, I don't know what that was. Some building or some, I don't know. But look, it could be all kinds of things. Looking. She needs some. Let me cut some of this gray off of her. But you can see it takes a while for this process. I don't like to rush it too much. I know I'm streaming, and I like, I don't want to, but I don't want to rush it, overly rush. No, that's not going to work. I've got a little plan for that right there already. But she does need some teal maybe behind her. Let's see. We'll put that in there. Hey, DeMonte, you still here, DeMonte? Yeah. All right, let's see. See? It's a good start. Now that means, do I like that better or do I like this better? I think I just want a little bit of this now. Just a little bit. I'm going to start gluing here in a minute. I'm just looking at each one. This one has some purple in it. I don't really want purple. I think I'm going to go with something other than that. Maybe I'll go with this bit on her. Yeah, see, that just worked out, didn't it? That just worked out. Right there. Okay, but maybe I want some blue too. All right. All right, I think I got enough going to start. We can always add more if we need to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. We think we got enough. Let me move Marilyn to next time. All right, sip of coffee. Any questions? We good, guys? All right, now that we got some color here, I think I can move this out of the way. For now. Uh-oh, can't go that way. I got the fan blowing on me. Got the fan blowing. The chair, my chair is blocking the fan, so it's blocking all this from being blown away. I have a question. Are you getting all of these out of one magazine? I got the faces out of 2 magazines. The Vogue and another supplemental magazine that just had faces in it. The fractal parts are from a fractal calendar. The watches are from just my collection of watches. And this butterfly wing was on a perfume ad, I think. So the answer is no. Gotta watch that fan blow. All right, let me get my glue going here. Shoot, I'm almost out of glue in that one. Okay, I gotta refill my glue, my matte medium up. Let me get a brush. A small one out of my glue. I have a jar of water that's just for glue brushes, my matte medium glue brushes. So I'm going to fill my, I don't know if I can. I think I need my new one. Oh, there it goes. You got to be careful not to get, when you refill the dishwasher soap bottle with your matte medium, you want to try to make sure that you clean that off with a baby wipe if you got any on the outer rim. Otherwise you'll glue the lid. That's why I put baggies over the lids of things. So I'm just going to come back over here and I'm going to fill my jar. It's golden matte medium. That's my go-to collaging glue. So I'm going to fill this up. Okay. There's those paints I was looking for. Get a tray. Okay. So I was real careful not to get any on the edge because you don't want to glue the lid back on. The Avon brush. Yeah, you can find faces everywhere. That's, you know, I just don't usually use a lot of faces in my collage. But I have been just the last couple of batches. People have requested. All right. So, let's see. Let me get my baby wipes. And this stuff, if you do get your matte medium on your hands, it's hard to get off unless you have the craft scrubby fingernail polish remover, whatever. When you first open it, rub some Vaseline on it. Yeah, that's too much trouble, and also it's easier for me to slap a baggie on it. I'll just slap a baggie on the lid and close it. I don't like that would be a mess to me. Greasy stuff on my, that's just not me. Not saying it doesn't work. I know it works. Okay. So what I usually do is I'll, kind of move these out. And when I start painting and stuff, I'll get us closer in, right? But how the best way to do it, if you don't want, you can always take a picture. You can always take a picture if you're working on a little bit larger, some art journal page or something. You want to remember how you have things laid out. These aren't laid out so in such a perfect manner that I have to remember exactly where everything goes. But if you want to kind of keep track of where the general thing is just start you a new card, right? Start a new card, and then you can just transfer things over. The other thing that I do with these cards is it's a card stock. It's probably about, I don't know what weight it is. It's good, card stock. It's just Staples type card stock. Nothing, you don't need anything special. But by the time you glue all this down, put paint on it, then I varnish these with the Delta Ceram Coat. What is it? Exterior, interior. I'll show you the jar in a minute. And so I put a coat of varnish on these, and I paint the backs black. So they're quite thick by the time they're done. Vicki is starting to glue. Golden Matte Medium. You've had Golden Matte Medium for 492 years. No, it's not supposed to dry with a chalky feel and an odor. No. I don't know, If it's 492 years, it's probably time to get some more. Although I've had some that is old. But chalky, I've never had it chalky. If anything, it's satiny, right? Even the matte, it's matte. It's not glossy, it's a matte, but it's not chalky at all. It's not chalky at all. Yeah. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just start putting a nice generous coat. Okay, and I'm just reaching right over here to get my, okay. And the other thing is to me, it works best if you put it on the back, on the card, and over the top. You don't think that matters so much, like almost like 3 layers of matte medium, but especially on thinner magazine pages are real thin. It does keep it from wrinkling if you put it on the back, the front, all 3 places. Okay. And then take a card, just take whatever, old card, get in the mail or an Apple card or whatever, and just smooth it out. Now you got to be careful when you're scraping out a magazine image. The ink is like, they're cheap magazines, right? Even a Vogue is thin paper, right? And if you start scraping too much, you're going to scrape the ink off the image. So try to limit how much you scrape the images, because you'll scrape the ink off of those thin magazines. All right, so that one's done for now. I'm going to set that one over there, pull another one in. Put some matte medium on it. Over the top. On the back, on the card, over the top. And then when you get done doing that, take your card and kind of mash out any wrinkles. And you get the feel of which kind of magazines you can scrape and which ones you can't. Yeah, I've never had that happen. I've never had it get like textury. Now, I'm talking about the golden matte medium, right? I don't know if you're using another brand. Some other brands of stuff are textury, and I don't use those. That's just me. I'm not saying you can't do it. See, this is a calendar bit right there. I think I want some of this blue I want some over here on this side too, so I'm going to just kind of tuck some more blue on this side so it's all the way across the top. But I wanted that little swirl coming out of her head. All right, now I'm going to have to start moving over to a clean spot on my wax paper because this is getting on the wax paper and I don't want to glue my card to wax paper. Okay, so let me get a baby wipe and try to keep my hands fairly free of the glue because it gets on your fingernail polish and that's it. You got to take the polish off. It ain't going, All right, so I got an excess of, let's just scrape that off, move it around. And all the stuff that's hanging over, see, I'll dry these with the heat gun. I'll dry them with the heat gun and then I'll trim them. So do I want to, I think I like that. I like that kind of coming off of her head like that. See, I'll trim all this after I dry it. And I'm pretty generous with it. I mean, I do slather it on quite thick, but then I scrape it back too with the card. And when you scrape it with the card, you get a lot on the card. You can just move that back over to another card. Okay, so there's that one. And again, it's getting a little coated right there. Two more. Let me fold this. Getting a little hard to work with on the wet wax paper. Yeah, exactly, Vicki. Whatever. If you're answering questions for me, thank you. It's whatever you like. I mean, it can be no people and using just animals or butterflies or what, like Vicki was saying. It's just whatever appeals to you. And if you like garden magazines, your pet, cat and dog magazines, I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever, and you're going to like doing it. You're going to enjoy the process if you're using elements you like rather than just because I use something. Now, I got a little thick here. Now, the thing about getting anything on the back, as long as I get it dry, this is all going to be painted black on the back, so it doesn't matter to me if stuff gets on the back. All right, so let's kind of... All right, I think I got them all glued down. So now I'm going to take my heat gun. I'm going to go ahead and put my brush back in the water. Because you're going to like doing the cards if it's subject matter that you like, right? Woodpeckers with perpetual migraines. Write it down. That might be a whole story right there, Anakari. Woodpeckers with a migraine, just never know where that's going. Oh, thanks, Vicky. That's sweet. Vicky said, I have a special touch blending it all together. Well, part of it is you just got to go for it. You got to see a little bit of something and just try it. It's just paper and magazine bits. If it messes up, it's like, so what? Throw in the trash, keep moving. Yeah, I love collaging too. I do. All right, so I got most of that glue off. So let me take the heat gun now and hit each one with the heat gun. Then I'll trim them. I'll kind of let you see here. They don't have to be 100% dry before I add paint, but you don't want it sloppy, gluey either. And I like some better than others. Some turn out more to my liking than others, but that's going to be true of anything we do, right? You're going to like some things better than other things. But that doesn't mean if it doesn't turn out 100%, you don't do it again. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, so now let me get my big scissors. Turn them over, and any bits that are hanging over, we'll trim them down. Hey CB, how you doing? I got some glue on I think that's glue right here, so let me get that. Just don't want a mess of glue sticking my hand in there. This is where we're starting from. And you can add more or less elements, like in the Dilutions journal that I'm working in, where I just showed you earlier, where I got all the collaging done on a few pages. I'm using smaller and more elements to make it more intricate. So you can make them as intricate as you want. Like most of these only have 3, at the most 4 elements to them. But you can add as many as you want and just take your time. You don't have to rush through doing 8 in an hour like I'm trying to do, right? You don't have to do that. You can take your time. Lay them out on the table and just look at them for a while and move things around and see where you like them. Doesn't have to be a rush, just because we kind of go fast here. You liking this batch, Vicky? Yeah, I try to do at least a batch a month. And I'm having to start doing them all here because I just don't have time. I got so many other projects going on that I don't stream. I mean, I can't stream everything, guys, especially commissions. I don't stream people's private commissions. I don't even show them all the time unless they, give me their permission. But everything else I pretty much, show y'all. Show you everything else. Hey, Orla. Let's get the wads of glue off. And that is one thing about Golden Matte Medium. It's some tough cookie. The lady with the black watch on her head looks like a pirate captain. See, everybody, and the thing is, that's what I try to do in my collaging too, is sometimes I'll name them, but I don't necessarily tell you everything I see in them because I want people to see what they want to see in them. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now I'm going to get a couple of palettes. Let's see, it's some dry ones here. So you got the card stuck on the back. There's one. I just want some dry palettes to work off of. Just a couple. Probably only need one because I'm only going to use a couple colors. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys. It's flying over the edge. Get my water situated there. Too many palettes piled up. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way without smacking my head on the overhang. Okay, so when these get dry like this, and people have told me to, oh, I love the paint skins. I don't know if this has got enough on it to peel, but people like the paint skins. I can't get a hold of it. And I've saved some, but I'm just not one to ever use the paint skins, right? But I pile as long as it's dry. I don't mind piling up other colors on top. It doesn't distract me, but it probably does a lot of people. You can't stream every single minute. I'm in my art room all day, every day, pretty much, Vicky, unless I'm out doing, some errands or something. But no, just like today, I probably shouldn't have streamed today because my throat is scratchy from sleeping with a fan on my face. But I just keep drinking coffee to keep it lubricated. All right, so the colors I'm going to go with today are the teal color. Let's see now, which teal do I want to use? No, that's too green. I want a little bit more blue. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to put out a little bit of a teal color. Uh-oh, gotta take the lid off this one and dig out the, hang on, paint booger, if you want to call it that. If I don't close the lids well, if you don't close the lids well, they can clog up, of course. And most of the time I'm not closing them up like I should. So I want some teal. And there's all kinds of teal colors. Just some teal color. I do want some kind of a red. Do I want cherry red? Let's see what else I got in here. I think that's the only one that has really any red on it. It's just cherry red. A little bit of that. Don't need much because I'm only maybe 1 or 2 cards I'm going to use that on. And again, when you get too much paint, this is what you need a desk journal for. Is to see, now I got that all over me. The desk journal to throw all your excess paint in. Another baby wipe. I go through the baby wipes, I'll tell you. I can go through a whole pack of baby wipes in a week. 2 at the most. You're translating. Oh, okay. I missed something. I'm sorry. Did I need translating, Janet? Okay, but anyway, the leftover paint is what you want to scrape up and put in your desk journal. All right, so then I need a little bit of gray. Let's see, which gray do I want? A lighter gray, a darker gray? This is zinc. Let's go with some zinc. Zinc gray, some black and white, and maybe a yellow ochre. See, I love the same colors. I can't help it. A little bit of black. Okay, let me get a pokey tool. A little bit of black. Come on. All right, didn't close this one, and it's gonna have crusty bits in the lid. Let me take the lid off and just pour some out. And a little bit of, yeah, if y'all have questions, put them in caps. I'll try to answer. Let's see. Let's go with a little bit of no, I don't want that color, this color. A little bit of raw sienna. It's a little darker than yellow ochre. So we'll go with those colors. Alrighty. There's our colors. So I'll hold it up here and work on them. I think that'll probably be easier. And then if I start, well, I can just hold it up. It's probably easier. All right, so the first thing I do when I start on an art card, the first thing that comes to my mind is getting rid of the white. That's on any of them. So I look around, see how do I want to get rid of the white. Sometimes you might need a brush to get in there if you don't think your finger can get in there, Nothing wrong with using a brush. I mean, I do use brushes, for goodness sake. But I can blend quicker and faster with my fingers. But that doesn't mean I never use a brush, of course. But like just, I'm going to pick up a brush just to show you. So for instance, right here. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of black and I'm just going to get rid of that white bit. Okay, so now she's starting to look like the 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 Sphinx, the I can't even talk today. But I really don't want her to look like that. I kind of want this to be water here. Thanks, guys. So, but I usually don't start with the brush. I usually use the brush, in the details toward, toward the end. All right, so I'm going to start with some teal. And so you can see I'm just, even though it may not match exactly, when I blend it into the image, it makes it blend, right? So I want to get rid of all the white. But I can blend, I don't want to say I can always, but I can do it most of the time. Mix colors to blend whatever I'm blending into, and I am putting it on kind of. It is thick, guys. It's not. I'm not. It's thick enough to cover that white paper. Now, some colors like a red, a yellow, a lime green, they're real translucent. They're real translucent, so you might need 2 coats to cover up the white. But I'm putting it on pretty thick, guys. I mean, it's a big wad on my finger there, you know? To cover up the white. Now, I think I want her hair to kind of blend in there. I think I want her to blend into the background. All right, so look. See how I got a little bit of teal right there? Because I'm mixing the colors on my finger. Now, I'm not going to be able to paint with my finger around her eyes there. See right there? My fingers are not that small, so that'll have to be an area to get a brush. I'm going to get detailed with you guys. All right. But see how that accidentally got some teal right there? Well, we're going with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up this bit of hair on this side, on there, but then I'll pick up more till I'll say, oh, look, that little bit of teal flowing off of her hair looks cool. So let's go with it. So now I'm going to take some teal, and I may or may not be able to do that with my finger. I might have to get a brush, but so kind of roll with it. If you get too much, just keep your baby wipe handy. It's got matte medium over it, so you can wipe away anything because it's covered with matte medium. But let's just say I don't want that solid, so I'm going to pull some of that off and keep it streaky right there. So you can kind of fussy paint in some areas. But that happened kind of on accident, It kind of happened on accident. So now I'm just looking at, I'm trying to talk out as much of it as possible, right? Okay, so now if I was just doing this myself, I'd go ahead and finish up all this. But I'm going to kind of show you something that I just thought of, so I'm going to do it sequentially rather than skipping around like I normally would do. I'd skip over here, skip over there. But right now, this came to my mind when I did this. I said, oh, I wonder if we can make lightning come from here and connect. So first off, I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to get rid of that little bit of white line right across the edge right there of her eyebrow, right? Just to get rid of that white. All right, but I'm going to take some white, cleaning my, anytime you hear this, I'm over there cleaning my brush, and then I'm damping it off. So let's go ahead and put some more clouds up here. And again, this is probably where I would start more with my fingers, just to get a base of white on there. All right, so let's go ahead and put some cloud up here. Bring that down. Okay. And have some lightning come down across her face. Yes. Yes. All right. So now, okay. I'm going to kind of I'm trying to talk out every little detail, and sometimes it's hard for me to do that. This is wet and that is wet. If I start going in here with white squiggly lines, it's going to pick up that blue, which may or may not work. But if I'm not sure if I want to try to get some lightning bolts coming down on top of that wet blue, you'll want to dry that because you can't layer wet paint. Wet paint blends, dry paint layers. Okay? Wet paint blends, dry paint layers. How do you make clouds look like clouds? Well, I just did one. Did you see it, Lindsay? You kind of just pull it out. Just kind of move it around with your finger. And if you need more lighter, brighter areas, then you just go back with more white paint on the dry area. Okay, you can just keep layering like that. See, it almost could be a mountain too. Could be a mountain. It's in your imagination. Is that a mountain or is that clouds? If we want it to be a mountain, we could always pull this layer up into more mountains or leave it like it is. Okay, so now it's almost dry. All right, so now this is something I'm going to have to kind of put down because I got to have a steady hand to do certain, straight lines or certain things. I can't like hold this up in the air and do it. So I'm going to have to come up here and I'm just going to try to and if it's too stark, you can kind of blend it out with your finger like a little bit. Lightning is a little tricky to do. And if you get some lines where you don't want them, then just come back in there and cover them up. So I cleaned my brush off. I got it kind of a dry. So go back in there and kind of, get rid of some of the thickness of it. Or you could do this with a gel pen. It's probably best if I do the details of this with a gel pen, after the fact. But, because I'm using so little paint. I don't know. Let's see if I can try to hold this up. It's kind of tricky. See, I'm barely touching it. Barely touching, barely touching. But you make it look easy. Well, that's because I've done hundreds of them, Lindsay. All right. So now I think what I want to do here is I'm going to cover all this up with black because I'm going to then move blue and white coming down here, but I want the white covered up first. So I'm going to go back in here with my finger. I'm going to get some black and some gray. Okay, I got black and gray. Okay, I got two colors on my finger. See, I think part of it too, guys, is, getting a few colors on your finger. Because then they kind of marbleize or kind of blend. And remember, you can always wipe it off with a baby wipe or paint over it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I kind of like that little bit of hilly look right there on her. I'm going to leave that. Okay. Just going to blend that in because I'm going to put teal over the top of this. So, I kind of have an idea where it's going, but some of the little details, like adding the lightning, that was not in my mind when I put this card together with those three elements. But the lightning just it happened. It just worked, And some of that stuff is just like what you see in your imagination, and everybody's different. You're not going to see the exact same things I see. Dry paint, is that right? I want to write it in your notebook. Dry paint layers. Okay, so when the paint's dry, you can put another layer on top. If your paint is wet and you put paint on top, it's going to blend. Wet paint blends, dry paint layers. I'm talking about the bottom layer. Okay, if you have a layer of dry, you can layer on top. If you have a layer of wet, you can blend. Thanks, guys. Thanks. That's sweet. I try to be inspirational, and I'm not a teacher. I just tell y'all how I do it, but I tell y'all everything. Maybe sometimes, people might think too much. But again, if people are asking me questions when they're here, I will answer those questions. All right, so it looks kind of like sand there. I want this to be kind of water, but this doesn't match exactly. So if I wanted to match exactly, I could come over here and mix some of the white and the, make that color. Or I could make this another something with just another color, right? Or if it's just not that, hang on, got a little bit of left over there. But I do try to tell y'all everything I'm doing. I don't hide any, there's no secret. I'm telling you everything, right? Maybe I want just a touch of that golden color over here. Just a little. Just to kind of tie it together, okay? All right, now like I said, I wanted this to come out from here. Now what do I want over here? Maybe I want another, maybe there's an island or something over here, or a rock, okay? Let's just kind of put something over here to have this blue come out of. And if I don't like it, I'll just paint over it, right? Maybe there's something going on over here. Probably this is where I probably would have put a watch part. A little bit of a watch part right there. Well, since that's what I'm thinking, let me go ahead and do it, because that's what I would do. All right. Let me just get a tiny. Let me just find some little tiny bit of watch part. That's not enough. Because that's what I would do if you weren't here. So let me do it because you are here. Ah, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut out a little mechanical sign. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a whole full-on watch. I just want a little bit of something mechanical that I can turn into something here. Maybe that's enough. We'll see. It's even a little too much. Let me trim that down. So I'm just going to get a little bit of something like this. Now I'm not going to get my matte medium back out, so what I'll do is I'll just get a little bit of Eileen's Tacky just to throw on the back here, because I'm just going to glue one little element down. Just going to glue that little, because I want it up here. That's still too big. Still too big for the space I have. So I want it right there. I'm not liking it above the horizon. I want it below the horizon up there. So I'll pull it down. Now I'll paint that in a little bit, but I want this to come out of something. Oh, is that hilly thing a shoulder pad? No, her head is separate from this. This is two different elements. I blended her neck into this. This was something separate. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to get my brush and let's go ahead. I'm going to just start by putting some of the blue down, okay? Pick up a little white too. I think I'll just go ahead and do that with my finger. Okay, I think I got my sleeve. Yeah, I got my sleeve in the paint. Oh well. All right. I'm going to kind of look here and see what I want to do, how I want to blend that in exactly over here. Because it's starting to kind of look, I guess because the watch part has two things right there, it almost looks like eyes, and I don't really want it to look like eyes. Know what I mean? Yeah, it's starting to look a little, I don't like that bit of watch I picked. I need to pick another bit of watch or mechanics. Let me see here. Something different. Not something that looks like eyes. Now I'm going to probably have to go above the horizon. Let's see. I'm not liking that it looks like eyes. So what I'm going to do is we're going to paint over that. I don't like that. I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to go this way instead. We're going to make it different. I don't like those looks like eyes because it's too much like hers. I mean, I don't like the composition. The composition wasn't what I wanted, so I'm just going to turn this into something else over here. I'm going to make the landscape go a different way. Okay, so we just got rid of it, just paint over it. All right, I need another baby wipe. It just didn't work for me compositionally. All right, so now, where's my brush? It's too far away. Yeah, little alien bot. I know, right? So, I don't know. I'm kind of liking how the idea of the black almost, because there's lightning over there, I can almost like see it kind of cracking into here. I think I'm going to like that better. Little tiny cracks, crevices. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Again, you know, if you want to know some of the other streamers that stream, Carrie, icarrylove.blogspot.com. She put a list over there. So, if it gets too stark, like that black's really stark, you can kind of blend it in with some other color, like the teal, or wait till it dries and put another layer. Just kind of want a little bit of mountainy looking something going on there. Hope you can see that. Kind of a mountainy looking thing going on. But I need it lighter too. I need some light in there. It almost looks like blue lava. I think I want to carry it down. Let's make some of it not as obvious. I'm getting too detailed there that I don't need. And I think I'm going to carry it off the page. Rather than have it end right there, I think I'll just carry it off there. And another thing you can do, and I've shown this too, it's a little harder to do on a small card like this. You take a palette knife. It's easier to do this on a what do you call it, a larger page. But I'm going to try to do a little bit of it on here. It's going to pick up a little white and a little blue. And you can kind of scrape it in. I don't want it too stark. Let's pick up a little gray too. And you can kind of make it textury like that. Again, if you want a layer, you're going to have to let it dry. But you can do that with the palette knife and make it, it's not showing up, guys. You can make it look textury like. All right, let me dry that before I add another layer. But it's a little tricky on something this small. But you just kind of skim it to give you some like different like textury look in there. Look more, you know, mountainy or hope that's showing up. Don't know. It's hard to tell. Right? Okay. Where's my brush? Where'd my brush go? Oh, there it is. Alright, so now I'm just gonna get me a nice mountainous edge right there. Kind of, that's good enough. I'm fussing too much because I'm trying to explain things too much to you. All right. So now you can come down here and you can do a few things. You know, you can do make this more watery, but you know, if you look, it's hard to see from from the camera, but this looks really cool like it is. It almost doesn't need anything else. It almost just looks good like that, you know. So I think I'm gonna just maybe let's put a shooting star. And you can do that with a gel pen too, or a Posca, where you can get a nice little bit of, just a little bit of thin little streak. All right. All right, is that dry enough for me to put some stars on? Because I think I'm going to want some stars in this area. Rather than trying to define something there, I'm going to put some stars. Okay. We'll call this one done. So you can see it takes a while, guys. You know, it does take a while. There we go. And this is just the white Posca pen. It's the only Posca I got is the white one, so I don't know how the others work on colors and stuff. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to set that one aside. And I usually sign them on the back because I paint them black. Okay, I paint them black and then I sign them on the back. Okay, hang on, I froze for a second with incoming mail. There we go. Let me just do one complete one for you because in case, you know, we always run out of time toward the end and then I never get to show you a actually completed full one. So what I'll do then is I'll varnish one and everything for you, just so you can see a completed one. And I wouldn't be holding this up in the air. I'd be having it sitting down on the table, but you know, I kind of flick it off the edges so I don't get it on the front. In other words, don't take your brush and run it this way because you'll get it on the front. Take a flat brush and just keep it flat like that, then it won't go over to the front. Most times, depending on how careful I am. All right, so now let me take a heat gun. Let's go ahead and thanks, Rain, and hi, Rain, by the way. Yeah, I don't. That's the only one I have. It's a white. All right, so now look. I want to show you something. Look, see how it kind of curled up a little bit? That's fine. Just take it and flatten it out a little. Kind of pull on it. You know, you kind of pull it, and it kind of reflattens. Did I get that dry enough on the back? And you just kind of flatten it out like that. You know, the more time you take with these things, the better, guys. I gotta say, you know. All right, then what I usually do, let me do two more steps. We'll take it silver. Let's just take silver. And these are just the silver Pentel, what is it called? Pentel Sunburst Gel. Silver. I have it in silver and gold and white. And I'll sign it. And for 2016, I've been putting a shooting star. Like that. Something like that. That's it. And then what I do for varnish is I use the Delta Ceram Coat Gloss Exterior Interior Varnish. It's like $10 a bottle, but it lasts forever. Yeah, and heating the other side can help too. I am kind of hurrying, guys. If you get a bumpy one when I send it to you, just because you got it on stream, right? I did it on stream. All right, so let me get the. So all I do is, and this is for the art cards. If it's in the journal, what I use in the art journal to to put the varnish on is the foam brushes, you know, sponge brushes, because it won't leave marks. But when they're this little cards, I just put it like about the size of a dime or a nickel, like that, and start in the middle. I just roll it out and pull it all the way out. Okay. Now, this has nothing on it that's going to smear. There's no water media, there's no neo colors, watercolor, or anything like that. You can't do this, what I'm doing right here, with watercolor stuff under it, right? So that it has a little bit of a cloudiness to it while it's wet, but I'll set it aside, it'll dry perfectly clear. That's all right there. That's it. That's the card. Okay, it'll dry and be ready to go in the mail tomorrow. Okay. All right, so let me set that aside because I'll be the first one to stick. I'll be the first one to stick my arm in it. Baby white. All right, so let's go ahead and try to finish up these other ones. Bumpy's gonna trade some of your birthday cards for that one. Trade you some birthday cards. No, I can't do that, CB. I can't trade them for birthday cards because people send me the birthday cards to share. I couldn't keep up with it. I barely can keep up with just sending y'all that are on a list. I don't have time to do trades. You know, yeah. I can't. I just can't. I don't have time to do trades. All right, so let's see. But thanks, CB. All right. All right, here's another one. Remember this was some kind of a camera or something? This was a camera bit with the light shining out from behind it. And look, see how it looks like a mountain with lighting coming out from it? So let's go with that. Okay, so I'm going to I'll talk it out as much as I can, but obviously I can't spend that 30 minutes on each card like I just did with that one, or we won't get done. So there's the mountains right there. I know, I wish I could, but I don't have time. I'm barely keeping up with just making cards for you guys, right? Barely have time to make these cards to give away. So I'm just getting, like I said, the first thing I concentrate on is getting rid of the white. I have a baby wipe here. I'm constantly, you know, going back and forth, cleaning my hands or moving things around. She's trying to bribe me for a card. Okay, so I do, and my paint is starting to get a little, you know, skin over it because I am sitting under the fan and these lights. So I'll work on multiple fingers. Multiple fingers. Just kind of blend that, give it kind of an aura. And sometimes you got to get a brush in there. Sometimes a finger will work. He'll still send me cards as usual, no problem. Thank you, CB. Oh my goodness. All right, so I gotta get a little dry spot there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get a brush in there because my fingers aren't that little. I do want to kind of blend that right there, though. Oh, sorry, I got off camera there. And again, this could almost, I could even more do lightning again. I mean, you know, that could almost be lightning again. And I think instead I'm going to do, even though that's not a watch, I'm going to do what this part is. But coming out of this little bead thing, I'm going to do watch hands coming out of it. So I'm going to get rid of that white part right there. Get rid of that. I'm going to pick up some of the teal, and while the black is still wet, I can kind of blend right there. And if I get too much paint, I'll get a baby wipe and kind of, you know, remove it. And get right along that edge right there. Kind of blend that in. And see, that's what I say about torn edges and blending. So you can just kind of get on there and just blend. Leave it kind of, see how it's like not perfect? Just leave it not perfect. Okay. Too much black right there, though. There we go. So what I want to do on this one, let's dry it. Let's go ahead and give it a dry. And you know, you can do, you know, you see me do it on the bigger page. You can splatter the paint, take a brush and get some watered down paint, and you can do some splattering for the stars and things rather than dot by dot. So you can do it both ways. Okay. If you get, look, see how it might be a little too line right there? Well, then just go in there with your baby wipe and just kind of get rid of it or blend it out a little bit. Or if you want some mist or fog, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of that. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white on my hand and get just water, like rub it into the baby wipe, and I can get a little bit of misty, foggy stuff going on up here. And just kind of keep moving your baby wipe around and just kind of blendy, blendy. Maybe I want it kind of going out, kind of like wisping. Okay, maybe that's all I want on there. Just that. Bye, Whippy. Thanks for being here. We expect a full review of that if you go, Terry Trouble. Terry Trouble says she's going to try to go to Art and Soul in Portland this year. We need pictures. We need video. You know, YouTube would be nice, Terry. Oh. But I almost could use some of the white, you know, like a white. Let me get my Posca here. I'll make sure that's dry before I hit it with the Posca pen. Because, you know, I like my watch hands, even though this is not a watch. This is more the watch. But, you know, I could still do the watch hands like that. Maybe this one's coming behind. Let's do this. Like that. Let's have that one come all the way up the edge. Like that. Thanks, guys. Okay, before I know I've been here an hour and a half and my throat's really starting to get, dry. So let me set these two right here while I go take a quick break, guys, and we'll come back and do the other ones. Okay, we'll come back and do the other ones when I come back. Remember, this one's been varnished. This one has not. See? Varnish, not varnish. When you varnish them, it just kind of makes the colors, I don't know, it just makes them nice and smoothed out like. Thanks. All right, so let me go run down, guys, and get some coffee. And give me just about a minute. I'll be right back. Hot coffee to the rescue. Check chat. Thanks, guys, for being here and hanging out. Hey, Sherry. The bat signal. Terry. Okay, so let me set these two aside. Out of the way. Let's move this out. All right, let's see what I want to do next. Still got 6 more. I can't promise we'll get them all. Just kind of flattening them out a little bit here. All right, let's go with her. Okay, she doesn't have any other color in her, but I want some color in there. So let's put some of the, see, it's already got a skin over the top of that. Let's go ahead and put some red. Okay, so I'm going to do red. First, just get a little bit of red on there, and then I'm going to put black in there too. Blend it out. Again, red, see how it's very translucent? Sometimes it might take 2 coats for red and lime green, yellow. But in this case, I'm going to leave it kind of like that for a minute. Just let it kind of percolate. Let's let it percolate for a minute, because this one's going to have red too. This red's starting to dry out, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on here while it's wet. Let's get rid of all the white. See, I see mountains in there. Mountains. See something coming out right there too. So I'm going to leave that. Love the red. Okay. So I'll get in there with the brush for some of that, because my finger's not that little, right? Okay, I think I'll get some gray. Let's go with some gray. And whatever red's left on my finger there, we'll just go with that. Pick up a little black. And again, because it's coated with matte medium, you can blend it around and play with it because you can wipe it off. Okay, there's a little bit of touch of red right in there. It's not the right red. Maybe a little bit of red right here, like a dot. Like this. All right, so now I'm going to get my brush and start where I half fussy cut her out. You know, see the gray around her head. But it's just really fun to just play with these little cards, use your imagination, and not be afraid just to get in there with some paint, right? Pick up some gray too. Let's see how I can get maybe a little lighter gray. All right, this whole thing needs to be stars, and none up here, just down here. I'm gonna fussy paint those mountains a little more, but I want, let me splatter here, cover that up. Okay, so like I got some on her hair where I don't want it. Let me get a clean bit and just wipe it away because it's got matte medium on it. And then if you want some in a certain spot, you can go in there and add, you know, I need one right there, you know. I think what I want is her earring. How do I want to do this? I'm going to kind of come across her face. Something like that. Now, let's go back in there with the black on this far away. Kind of something going on back here. And I think I'll mist her up right here a little bit. Something maybe like that. Okay, now I got to get back in there with a little bit more red because I need another coat of red right there. Let me hit it with the heat gun because it's still red. So I'm going here with the red. And just a couple places like right along her head there where I had to put 2 coats of red. Maybe a little blending in those mountain areas. Maybe just a little bit of blending right down here. No, see, it turns a different color red on top of that. It's a different color red on there. I need to add a gray to it and gray it down a little to make it, there we go, that's better. I think I want her hair. I'm going to add a little bit of, I think I want her hair on this side. Let me get a little bit of white on that gray here. Let's see if I can highlight her. It may or not be actually be her hair, or it just might be something kind of glowy around her face. Something like that. Like that. You spit your sugar, your coffee. What'd I do? I don't know. I don't know. You said you spit your coffee out. I don't know. We have a lag, so I don't know what made you spit your coffee out. All right. Okay, it needs a little bit more stars things over here. Okay, we'll call that one done. Yeah, we'll call that one done. And I'll varnish them all here shortly. But I think it almost could use a little dot at the end of each one of those 3, like that. It does kind of give it a little touch. Okay, we'll set that one aside. We'll varnish them all here in a minute if we have time. Thanks, Grammy. Okay, let's go with her. I gotta be a little bit more crack-a-lackin' now, right? I'm gonna have to crack-a-lack just a little bit more. Otherwise, we're not gonna finish them. Let me get my brush. It's kind of a little tight right in there. You weren't paying attention and their card was done. We move quick around here, right? Got to kind of move a little quick or we won't get done. Turn it upside down so I can grab it, guys. So I can get over here on this side because it's wet. All right, some blue, some white. Let's do a little bit of swirly stuff going on here. kind of blending it in with my baby wipe, making it all look swirly. A little fussy in around her head here in a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's get a little bit of blue and white again. Let's take about our wing here. Let's go ahead and I have to get the brush in there for some of this. I don't want to lose the whole butterflyness of it, but oh, that helped right there. I don't care if it looks like a butterfly per se wing, but I just don't want to lose her wing. Let's kind of carry her over a little bit more too. Blend that in. Okay, we're going to make this a quick one. Get a little bit of thing going on here. Okay, let's get some off of her face. Oops, I need more baby wipes. I need clean baby wipe. Let's do some clouds right here. Or something like that. Just need one little thing of white coming up right there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to call that one done. We got to move along, people. We got to move along. I need it with the heat gun. Let's still have 4 more to go. In probably only 45 minutes. So we got to get crack-a-lack if we want to get these other 4 done. Okay, so we got some red on this one. Let's go back to her. All right, so I'm going to get the brush back out. Let's get some of this red, because like I said, it might put a little bit of gray in there too. It might to take a little bit more to cover up the red, right? I mean the white with the red. So let's just go ahead and put the gray in there. I like these things coming around her. I think I'm going to have some water coming around her. Let's do that. Let's see here where we can go with her. She almost looks like she has one of those headdresses on, Egyptian headdress things, right? The shape of it somehow. Doesn't it? It's a little purple looking right there. It's kind of... This could almost be a whole little world down in here. Let's run with that. We'll go with that. And we'll have that gray come around like some water or something. Almost want just a little bit more black up here. These people cards are just as awesome as any of the others. Thanks, guys. Yeah, people like to see people in cards. I mean, they do. I mean, I understand that. I understand that. They like to have someone to, like, attach the world to. Because if the people aren't in there, you've got to attach it yourself. You know? Where's my gray? Oh, I'm almost out. Let me put a little more gray out here. So a little bit of white and a little bit of gray. Just whiten it down just a little. Try to match that gray right there. Because I want a kind of a base coat. Because I'm going to have water come down here like this. See, almost like it's a little river coming down. I'm sure that's Hubster. Hey, I'm still streaming. Can I call you back? Oh, you did? You were here earlier? Oh, thanks. Did the girl say hi to you? Oh, you didn't log in. Okay. Okay. You gonna have a salad? Okay. I didn't know what you wanted for Survivor night. All right. We'll figure out something. Bye. He usually lets me pick whatever he can pick up on Survivor night, but he's going to go get him a salad, so he's hungry. So yeah, I'm kind of liking this. I almost want it coming around that way. Let's go this way with it. Yeah, he said he came by, but he didn't log in. All right, I need a little bit of the white and the gold color here. Let's see if I can mix that color up pretty close. All right, I'm gonna have to put my brush down here. Hang on, guys. Thanks everybody that's here and been here and hanging out. Snails and ants for survival. I don't think so. Just because they eat that stuff doesn't mean I have to, Jean. Funny sassy pants. There's a reason we call you sassy pants. You know that, Jean. All right. That's what I want to do in here. Do I want to... Okay. All right, let me dry this because I want some water kind of flowing down. And it's got to be dry for that. All right. Let's see. I want a flat brush. Let me get a flat brush. Got to be small. Got to be small. These are small cards. You know your sassy pants, you know, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see. So we'll just kind of do some bit of waterfall looking stuff coming down here. Maybe. I'm trying to go over the red, so I gotta take a couple of layers here. Could almost be little steps there if I took the time. Not liking this. I think I want to make this more. I think I want to make this more foggy up here rather than drippy. Let's see if I can make some. I think I want to have a cloud. Well, I hate to lose that little thing on our head, but let's see here. Kind of want this to come around in some layers. Keep it under that little arch there. Xandra streaming. She streams at 7:30 on Wednesday. I think. Yeah, am I right, Jean? Or I think she streams at 7:30 on Wednesday. 7:30 and Xandra. Somebody's asking about Xandra streaming. Maybe we'll have one just come right up behind there. Let's have a shooting star on this side. And then have some. I'm trying to get them all done today, guys. Trying to get them done. Let's get just a couple of bright drips things coming down here. I don't want them too bright because then that doesn't look like they fit into the world. You got to kind of touch the edges so they kind of blend in a little. But I do want these coming off the page. Okay, I'm going to leave it. All right, because I want to get crack-a-lackin'. I want these done today. Got 3 more to go. 3 more, guys. 3 more. Let's get crack-a-lackin' here. We gotta get crack-a-lackin' or we're not gonna get done. We're gonna do some quick ones. Just get rid of the white first. Yeah, got the sound of the cracking of the whip, right? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is probably do quite a bit of mist or clouds. Let's have her in the clouds with the antennas on her. A little bit more gray. We'll add some detail. Let me just sit her aside for a minute. Let her set up a little bit. Okay, let's work on all 3 at once here. All 3 at once. This could be like a pillar right there. It's almost like she's like a, like the mirror on the, I mean, yeah, you know, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all? Like, you know, kind of coming to me like that. Yeah, the Great Oz. Yeah, that's what she is, the Great Oz. We'll have some like flame things coming up or something. Okay, let her sit for a minute. Let's do this one. Okay, I want a little bit of golden because of her skin color, and I want a little bit of that in there. Just a little bit. Just a little. Just a little. And again, if you get too much or anything, you can always just go in there with the baby wipe and start blending in with the baby wipe. I don't want to lose that white curly thing on her head right there. Here's my black here. Kind of some hill things there, maybe. Kind of far away. Far in the distance there. Okay, let me get some stars. There. I want some waves coming up on this one. I want this to be like watery. Thanks for being here, guys. If you have to leave, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We're trying to wrap this up. Get some more little detail in that water in a minute. Let it kind of sit for a minute, because I want these things on our head to have. And a couple other colors up in here. Thanks, Tara. Okay, then I want just a little bit of that down in here. Pull some of that color in here just a little bit. It's dark to put that some other wavy things on. I gotta get that dry. I need some non-watered down white. Let me dry this. It's kind of got a little extra flashed out in the last few minutes, didn't it? Oh no, let me get the flash out. There we go, that's better. Thanks, guys. Okay, this needs a little finessing right on her head here. A little bit more. I don't want to lose that little star looking thing right there though. So I gotta be kind of careful. There, that's better. A little bit of gray. That's what it needed. Okay. A few more strategic stars. Whatnotting. A little too much right there, I think. I'll go back into some gray. Just a little less distracting from the thing coming off of her head there. Just a few less. We have my favorite Martian. Yeah, I remember that. All right, got two more. Let's go back to the Oz. The Great and Powerful Oz. And put some water down here on the bottom because this is going to be flowing around here. It's going to flow around here. And come down here. Have a light touch, light touch. Almost want a little bit of the, let's get a kind of a grayish brown back here. Like something's going on back here. Something's going on back here. So I almost want a little bit more something showing back there. Give it a little bit more architecture. Something going on back there. Just kind of smear some of that in. Gives it a little bit more composition. All right, now let me work down on here because I don't want her to look like she has quite that floaty head. I mean, I want her to look like she's like, you know, like you said, she could be the Oz, but I still want a little bit more around her face. Now she don't want to look like she has a beard, so we're going to have to fix that. I think I have to paint her chin in because I tore the paper and kind of tore her chin. So we're going to put her face back in there a little bit. We're going to paint her back, her chin back in there anyway. Side of her face. Put something there, I think. Just kind of blend her in. Fussy painter, and I know I'm pulling her out of the, out of the frame, so you can't see what I'm doing. I'll have to fussy with her for a bit. I'm trying to finish all the last two, but I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish her. Take a little bit of time. I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush it because I don't want her to look like she has a beard either. You know. Yeah, I better just. Yeah. Let's put some glue in there. I'm gonna make some stuff kind of coming up over her face there, so it doesn't look like a beard. No beard on the pretty girl. Don't need a beard on the pretty girl. Well, I'll tell you why I'm rushing, Vicki, because I have 15 minutes in my 3 hours. I'll have to start a new video. I don't know if I want to do another one. This is already the second one today. You girls, I swear. You're relentless. Alright, so let's see if I can get a little bit of mist thing going around her face, like she's kind of in the mist, you know, kind of misty like. I gotta still fix her side of her face there. Is my head sticking under there? There we go. Now we're cockeyed. Now we're getting there. Pretty tiny. I might have just should have left it like it was. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's put some bit more dark down here. More dark under the architecture. More shadows. Something else going on over here. I really want this real swirly around her head. No stars, just like mist and fog and whatnot, you know? Like it's in the mirror. Uh-oh, what did I do here? I lost my chat. Hang on, guys. There it goes. Get a lot done. Yeah, you get a lot done when I stream. Good. I usually get a lot done when I watch other people stream too, I gotta say. I really do, Janet. Yeah, I'm over fogging her now. I better just let her sit. I'm gonna let her sit for a while. This is the first one that I'm not loving, okay? Let's let her sit. Okay, let's see. Now, where was I with this one? A little bit more gray. A little bit more gray swirly stuff in the sky here. Because I really want some beams coming off of her too. Like I've got some swirls, but I really want, see, kind of like this one, but do I want another one? Do I want two? Do I want one? Let's just go with this right now. Just want a beam coming off of there. It could be this one here. Let's just go with that. Let's make it a little thicker. I kind of like that plane back there, with maybe just a touch of some wavy something going on behind her. Just a little indication. That's very subtle. Very subtle. Very subtle. We gotta go back to work and slave away. Yeah. Zandra, if someone wants to put her link, or remember Carrie, icarrylove.blogspot.com. She has a list of the streamers. Again, not everyone streams perfectly on time or regularly, but Zandra does stream on Wednesday nights. But don't be emailing Carrie if somebody doesn't stream and you say, I thought you said she streamed. No, 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 no. Don't be doing that. Carrie's doing us a favor. Okay, Mel G, thanks for being here. I'm wrapping it up myself. Yeah, Carrie said they bugged me till I did it. Okay, so this is the only one that I'm just not loving. I'm thinking maybe her little hat thing needs to come up into this swirl. Maybe if I do this. And again, it may not work. I may not like it. But not, we got 7 out of 8 that I like. That's pretty good. And I'll end up liking this if I fussy it long enough. A little water action there. Maybe even a little bit more glow on the side of her head. I like that better. All right, let's see. I think I'll just leave it for now. I'm not that happy with her. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of dark up around the top. I think I'll like it better if she has a little bit more mystery around the top. Something like that, I think. I like that a little better. Yeah, let me dry that. I'm glad you got to be here too, Terry. I like that a little better. It still needs a little bit more of an edge there. There we go. Okay, so let me go ahead and I can varnish them first and do the black on the back after. It's neither here nor there. So let me go ahead and varnish them real quick. Let me go wash my hands. Take a sip of coffee. One blew away there. Let's get them all back on the table. Okay, I got the bulk of it off. Is Vicky here or Eileen? Is there somebody here to help with the, or Janet? Is there somebody here for yeah, Carrie, still here? If I did a giveaway, if I give one of these away, one that I will pick. I'll pick one and we'll give one away in the drawing. I don't know how many people, somehow my chat got kind of screwed up or something. So yeah, we'll do a giveaway of one of these. And then the rest I'll give to people that are already on the list. But since y'all stuck around all this time, thanks, Vicki. All right, oh, I gotta go get my iPad to do random.org. Hang on, guys. Let me go one more time. Okay, I got a zillion tweets. Let's see that. All right, let's see here. Let me go to. So, how it works, nobody put in a number yet. Wait till I type in go. When I type in go and you see numbers flying, put in a number. That's your clue. No matter how much the lag there is, if you see numbers flying by, it's time to put one in. When I put in go, wait till I put in go. One number only, please. Yeah, you know what I really need to do is work in this room. One number only, closest without going over. I'll pick one of these cards. It'll be a surprise. I won't tell you which one. I gotta finish varnishing them here in a minute. Okay, this was the only one that's varnished. We're gonna varnish them in a minute. And again, it got a little flashed out again. Sorry, guys. I try. I don't want to get it too dark either. That's better. Yes, exactly, Vicki. A number between 1 and 100, and then after everybody puts in a number, I'll do the random.org. I've not generated a number yet. Let's get there we go. Okay. I think you covered it all. Now you gotta herd them. Gotta herd the cats, Vicki. Closest without going over. Let me get me a post-it note. Between 1 and 100. So I'll give it a second. Let me do one card here while we're waiting. Just going to put a little bit on there. I'll get everybody time to put in a number. Just going to coat it with a coat of varnish like that. So you got 2 of them varnished now. One number only. I don't see any new numbers, so I think I'll hit stop. Okay, here we go. We're going to generate a number. Ready? Wait for it. 93. 93. The closest to 93 without going over. I'll let Vicki and Carrie and Janet all help me look. Well, I'm varnishing cards. Closest to 93 without going over. Iffy has 90. Okay, Iffy, did you win? Oh, I wasn't finished with her. Oh, well, I guess I am now. I already put the varnish on her. I'll keep this one for one of my samples because I didn't like the way it turned out so much. So, Iffy, I'm going to send you one of these cards. Okay. I'll finish them up. Paint the backs black. Sign it for you. They're all great. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Yeah, I got Happy Mail. Oh, yesterday I was going to do my Happy Mail. I try to do Happy Mail on Tuesday. I am a little behind on the Happy Mail. I gotta say, I'm not that behind. About a week behind on the Happy Mail. That's not really that behind. But so I'm gonna try to work on that probably tomorrow. Get all the Happy Mail out. Today's Wednesday. Maybe I'm gonna get it done today so Hubster can take it tomorrow. I don't know if these won't be dry. The card won't go out tomorrow because it'll have to dry. But Iffy, new batch art card. Okay, made a note. Thanks, Eileen. Post a pic. Yeah, I'll post all of them on Twitter as a group. You know, I'll put them all kind of together. I gotta let them dry a little bit. Right now, they can't even touch each other. And then I'll post a picture of them later, or sometime in an hour. In an hour, I can post them on Twitter. Okay. I thought I sent you a card, Iffy. Oh my gosh. If I said I was going to send you a card, you haven't got one, you just got to let me know or put your name on the list, right? Not a mind reader. Don't slam. Yeah, but if this is your first one, then you're in luck. You're getting one. Thanks, hubby, for being the mailman. I will, Sandy. Thanks, guys. All right, so let me hold each one up real quick for you. And again, they're wet, so I'll show them to you. And I'll take a picture of them shortly. But at least we got some done, right? Except for the back. See, after this dry, this is why I usually paint the backs first, because then I can varnish them and let the varnish sit. Because it doesn't take long for the paint to dry, but it takes longer for the varnish. So there we go, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed them. And thanks for hanging out. And I'll upload to YouTube, even though it's been a little tricky lately getting from Ustream to YouTube. You know, sometimes you gotta, well, anyway, it's not y'all's problem. So, okay, so there we go. Even if they don't have a hippo. All right, Sandy. I told you, send me a hippo, Sandy. I'll throw that on a card for you. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you later. Bye.